Yahoo, Mina! Reviewing longer games to the bi-weekly format of the Rubbish Heap is a challenge because, RPGs are long games generally, and today's is no exception. Tengai Makyou Ziria, yes, that's how you say it, not Ziria, is the world's first CD-ROM RPG released by Hudson Soft and developed by Red Company. Some of you may know this is the first game in the Far East of Eden series, but that's not what Tengai Makyou means. Instead, literally, it can be translated as Outer Heaven Demon's Realm, with Jiraia taken from the main protagonist's name. Far East of Eden is the name of the fictitious book which the game is based on, written by the equally fictitious author P.H. Chada, who looks stunningly like Karl Marx. Well, see, the thing is, this is a series that treats itself rather irreverently, as it pokes fun at Western misconceptions about Japan, which is still going gangbusters today with all of the 10 things not to do in Japan videos out there. Yeah. Back on topic, the story of the game is that long ago in Japan, or the fictional Jipang as it's called in the game, was threatened by the evil Masukado, who threatened the peace of the land, but the descendants of the Fire Clan, composed of Jiraia, also a member of the Toad Sect, Tsunade, a member of the Slug Sect, and eventually Orochimaru, a member of the Snake Sect, are called into action once again when a Demon Sect come together to resurrect Masukado, threatening the peace of Jipang once again. Story-wise, this is a funny, sometimes laugh-out-loud funny game that thumbs its nose at RPG tropes, a Shakespeare-looking foreigner that's speaking in a slightly piss-taking, exaggerated Japanese tone, and Tsunade, the tomboyish axe-wielder, who is summoner I have a lot of time for, like when she chops down a tree belting out, "Mi, so, la, men," was also so stupid but funny. Admittedly, this is where Japanese ability becomes essential, as it really livens up your quest. I remember the first time a rock fell out from the sky, blocking my path at a checkpoint. I was laughing my head off at how stupid it was, which then set up a little fetch quest to bring down a member of the Demon Sect. In fact, as you travel around this fictional Jipang, you'll visit many places that are actual real Japanese place names, but they will refer to them as towns or villages, such as Utsunomiya Town, whereas in present-day Japan they are cities. Although I was a bit alarmed at the geography of Yonezawa being north of Hiraizumi and Sao Onsen being seemingly further north still, but I think that's the whole PH Chada thing at play. Overall, the feel of the game and story is not Chrono Trigger or grandeur levels of immersion. It never got to that myself, but it's different, and that's fine. It's worth noting that this is a late 1980s game on CD-ROM, the first CD-ROM RPG at that time. So the level of accomplishment here can't be understated. I don't want to bang the Japan drum too loud here, but it's games like this that made the PC Engine CD-ROM platform a success, whereas Western CD pioneers like the Philips CDI and Commodore CD-TV struggled. Why? Because frankly, some of those productions came across as two guys goofing about with a deluxe paint disc with a broken mouse, whereas Tengai Makyou Ziria, despite its development hell, was professionally produced. And yes, you say PC Engine CD-ROM². Odd name, isn't it? Gameplay follows a very typical early Dragon Quest style. Random battles in the field, towns where you can rest and save, shops to equip yourself and sell back to, and depositories to store and retrieve your equipment and money. Gradually, you will encounter one of the 13 members of the Demon Sect as you approach the final showdown. There is a levelling system as you would expect, and Jiraia and eventually Orochimaru have magic points, but magic doesn't level in this game. Instead, techniques are uncovered or unlocked by rescuing spirit animals where they have been trapped in stones by the Demon Sect. They will grant you a technique scroll and sometimes even an item or weapon to help you. Using these techniques will drain your MP, which can be recovered by an appropriate item by resting or levelling up. This means there is a limit to the number of techniques Jiraia can use to start with, as Tsunade will have to hold on to some of them, as Jiraiya's inventory has a limit, so choose wisely. On your travels, you will sometimes meet swordmasters who will challenge you, and succeeding in overcoming them will grant you a new special sword technique that will sometimes trigger at random in battle. These are a nice diversion to the game, but emphasise again that skills are acquired by set actions rather than levelled up in this game. The nearest antecedents to this game are the early Dragon Quest titles, and by extension, as it was a direct copy, Momotaro Densetsu, as mechanically it shares a lot with those games. This is relevant as this game had a lot of birthing pains before Akira Sakuma, creator of Momotaro Densetsu, was called in by the game's creator Hiroi Oji to get the game out the door. This switched the game to the more recognizable Dragon Quest style system. However, Tengai Makyou Ziria does manage to transcend these titles due to the vast nature of CD-ROM storage. But under the hood, this is a very straight JRPG, a little grindy, but well balanced. It's also quite hard, some would say unfair, but I disagree with that as a challenge is necessary to improve your tactics in battle. Though it is very much in the Dragon Quest vein, it does feature improvements to gameplay. The first is a basic auto-battle system, engage by press and select during encounters, which speeds up the battle and auto-battles for you. But this can be cancelled at any time during the battle with a press of a controller button, just in case you want to use a skill, item and so forth. Next, entering shops and depositories will allow you to buy or deposit multiple items without having to engage in multiple transactions, which is an improvement on the early RPGs. You can also run on the overworld map by pressing down the 2 button. At the outset, you will meet a toad companion, Kogama, who will help you in battle and also act as a warp command between staging post towns known as the Kumogiri villages or the Break in a Cloud villages, which is a real quality of life improvement. Finally, in the mode menu are 2 useful options. First is a diagonal walk option, and second, a Kaisetsu explanation section, which allows you to, in-game, look up what any item or technique you are holding does, as well as its MP usage for techniques. This is so handy, and these small things do improve gameplay a lot. This is not just a Dragon Quest clone, it's a clone done very well with some innovation, a link between worlds, if you will. Well, between 8-bit and 16-bit JRPG sensibilities anyway. There is one thing you should know though. If any one member of your party dies in battle, you'll be sent back to the nearest staging post town, alive, fully recovered, or well and good, but with half of your cash. Eventually, because you accrue so much money, this isn't such a big deal, but early on this can put you in a precarious position if you keep getting defeated in battle, because you may have used many items in battle and then find you have to start over and may eventually run out of cash rebuying the items, such as health restores. This is where I recommend you use the depositories to save some of your money. It can be withdrawn anytime you enter a depository and it won't be affected by losing in battle. Presentationally for 1989, the game is astounding, and given that character and scene design was done initially by hand, hinting at the project's initial conception as a movie or animated feature, lent itself to an aesthetic the PC Engine would be known for, representing the aesthetics of anime in game form. As such, though the background battles get a little bit repetitive, they are beautiful, and the character design is absolutely top-notch, some being laugh-out-loud funny like the Onibaba or Demon Grandmothers, to the great-looking mummies and so forth. Orally, renowned composer Ryuichi Sakamoto was billed as music producer, producing a wonderful opening score and a couple of other interludes, and the rest being decent PC Engine sound. Voice acting-wise, it's superb, with a professional voice acting cast when speech occurs, a real novelty for the time. So let's turn to rating this game. First, the Japanese level. There is an English translation patch which, if you don't understand fluent Japanese, you will need, because the story is what really carries this game along and you'll be guffawing it at times. Otherwise, if you're learning Japanese, and I rate the level as fluent on my rating scheme, the speech is generally very casual in this game, mimicking dialects or Japanese, and you need to have a good handle of this in order to understand some of the dialogue. The script is written in a mixture of kana and kanji, and anyone with JLPT N2 level or above Japanese should be able to make up most of the kanji in this game, and the vocabulary is pretty wide-ranging as well. If you're at least of JLPT N2 level, you'll get through this game's dialogue, but you will need to look stuff up. But that's all part of learning and why I'm doing this channel. As for the game's overall rating, this one's tough. There's a lot of groundbreaking work here. Presentationally, it's excellent, exceptional for 1989. The story is good, funny and enjoyable, but mechanically, it's pretty straight up early Dragon Quest with a few bells. I find myself torn on how to rate this game. It achieves so much for its time, and in the end, I found myself respecting that fact as well as enjoying the game a lot. And so I give this a great rating, or 4 stars out of 5, but with a caveat. With there being so much to choose from when it comes what to play with time being short and precious these days, I can tell you now, a sequel is even better. But the lofty ambition in this game still comes through in spades, and at the time underscored just what a good investment, though expensive as hell, but cutting-edge CD-ROM was for your PC Engine. This is a beloved game in Japan, and whether you're learning Japanese and want to level up, or use the English translation patch, if you're jonesing for a classic JRPG vibe, then Tengai Makyou Ziria entered the 80s with a bang and is highly recommended. As always, like, subscribe and all of that shit, and also check out this rad Rubbish Heap merch, available worldwide on Redbubble and Amazon. See the links below for how to purchase. I've been Saki Endo, and this has been a Rubbish Heap. Ja ne ne!
Hey! ゲームがしゃべる、サウンドがスタートする、540MB のすごいやつがやってきた。 PC エンジン CD-ROM システム、ロムロム用ソフト続々登場。ハードがタフならソフトもタフだぜ。第1弾ファイティングストリートノリコ同時発売。 By Hudson